Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. The sun just came out and I feel like the lighting is going to be really excellent, so that makes me pretty happy. And I don't know if you can see her. There's my cat right there, so she's going to be in the way. Meow. Okay, so yeah, I just want to share what I plan to read for the month of April. Don't know how much I'll be getting done. As I mentioned in my previous video, spring's a very busy time. You know, just reading isn't the priority that it is in winter. And I'm sorry about my cat. I'm sorry about my cat. She almost just knocked my camera over, but that's okay. Disaster was averted. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Springtime. Yeah, it's just hard because I have a lot I want to do. I'm getting the garden going. I've already planted a few things. We're getting things, seeds and trees ordered, and so that's happening, and fruit bushes and whatnot. So busy time, but I still want to read, and so I'm just going to share with you what my plans are to read this month. And one of the books I plan to read this month is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is a classic, or yes, it's a classic. I was going to say, maybe I'm giving you wrong information, but I feel like it's a classic, and it is. And I don't know much about this book other than everyone seems to have read it, and it seems like an important book to read, and it's about, you know what, I haven't even read the inside cover, but it's about burning books and maybe getting rid of knowledge and stuff. I don't know. I just picked it up because I've seen a lot of people have read it and it sounded interesting to me and something that I would like, and it's not very big, and I just need stuff that I can get immersed in but maybe isn't going to be, I don't want to read a bunch of huge books in April. So I definitely want to sprinkle in books like these that sound really interesting but aren't huge. Speaking of huge, the next book that I would like to get into this month is The Stand by Stephen King. And if you can't tell, this thing is massive. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, the last page is page 1153. So it's humongous. And I read the inside cover of this and I didn't retain it at all. The main reason that I picked this up is I have started reading more Stephen King and have been really liking his stuff. Previously, I've only read a couple things, and the main thing being Pet Sematary, which was so terrifying. But I've been reading more of his books, and I picked this one up because of Emily over at ARRRGH Schooling. She loves Stephen King, and I enjoy watching her thoughts and what she thinks about his individual books, and she really got me excited to start picking up more Stephen King. And she mentioned that this was one of her favorite Stephen King books. She might have said it was her all-time favorite. So I have to give it a shot. I have really been enjoying Stephen King, and so if this is her favorite, I want to read it and see what it's all about. And so yeah, I don't know how scary it's going to be. I hope it's going to be, you know, have plenty of creepy stuff in there going on, but I don't really know. And the next book that I would like to read this month is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Yes, Zusak. And I think everyone on BookTube knows what this book is about, and everyone has probably read it except me. Probably one of the very few people left on BookTube. There goes my cat again. Who has not read this book. And normally I don't think I would pick it up based on the description. Not that it doesn't sound interesting enough. It's just not something I would generally, you know, grab and be like, I want to read this. But people love it so much that it's just one of those you feel compelled to read. Your reading career hasn't been completed if you haven't read these big name books that 90% of people seem to love. So I'm going to read this, and I hope it's as good as people say. The last book I hope to get to this month is Come Go Home With Me by Sheila K. Adams. And I don't know how many people are going to know who Sheila K. Adams is, but I actually live where she grew up. Not this exact house, but she is from my area, my home now. And so I mainly got this because she's a local author, and if you aren't familiar with her, outside the author realm, she is also a famous ballad singer. And where I live, ballad singing is a big part of the history and the culture here. And I love history, especially local history, ghost stories, just hearing about the people that used to live in my house that I live in right now. I love hearing about them. And talking about them with my neighbors and the people that knew them. And I just love hearing the stories about the area. And so I had to get this because I'm just excited to read more about my neighbors. So that's why I picked this up. And that's not all. That is all I plan to read this month. And I emphasize plan. I might get to other books. You know, I don't know. I didn't think much beyond that. Those are just ones that I really want to read, and, 3 out of 4 of them are library books, so I know that'll really push me to read them as well, and they all sound really interesting. So, that's what I plan to read this month, and I would love to hear about your reading plans, and what you thought of my reading plans. You know, if you've read any of these, or heard of any of these, you know, just comment below and tell me. And yeah, I hope this month of April will be a great reading month for you guys. I think it will be for me, even though I don't think the number of my books will be very much, but I think the quality that I have of the books, I really think that I'm going to enjoy them a whole lot. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say. Ending videos are so awkward for me. That's all I've got to say now. I'm done. I hope you have a great day, and like and subscribe if you want to.